So how would a gun violence court impact East Baton Rouge Parish? Well, we're asking the force behind it, the chief judge at the 19th JDC. And this is a new initiative. You and I have talked about this before, and in fact, we're going to talk about it in greater detail on the podcast that'll be airing this week. So what is gun violence court, Judge Johnson?
It's a model of innovation whereby the court and the team of prosecutors and the team of public defenders can provide specialized processes to move those cases to adjudication. Mm-hmm. What I'm proposing is that we elevate case management for particular types of violence, particularly gun violence.
Yeah.
And it's necessary because of the fear and the public perception that things are not in order. And one of the things that's major is gun violence.
Yeah.
Now, every day, on average, we have a gun-related offense that's committed.
Yep.
And we need to be very intentional about how we address that. What I want to do is say to the community that the court will be receptive to creating models of process where we afford the defendant their due process, give them all the protections, give them the investigative tools, the forensic tools, and move these cases along quickly.
So, you know, to unpack a little bit of what you said, which I think is important for people to catch, there is a logjam now because you are running myriad types of potential offenders or accused through the same court system. You're saying bifurcate off a different court that only deals with gun violence so that someone can get their speedy day in court and we can have it addressed without there being a logjam, because we have had situations where people have been accused of violent crime and end up on the streets because you've got such a logjam in the court.
We need to be very intentional and prioritize.
Okay.
Prioritize what is undermining the basic rule of law, the basic agreement of how to get along with each other. And a threat to our system is guns and the use of weapons to solve disputes or to engage in criminality. So we've got to be focalized. And this is what I'm sensing that we're not focalizing. For example, none of the crime bills that were promoted in the session right now that's going on focused on involving courts and creating fast track models or enhanced divisions to focus on activity that directly really destroys what we're trying to have.
So how would this court be funded?
What I'm going to ask in the regular session that's coming up is this. I'd like for the legislature to say, for those district courts that would like to have specialized prosecutors, we will fund additional prosecutors for gun-related offenses.
Wow.
We will also equally fund defenders to defend those cases so that the defendant and the prosecutor will be able to come in the court ready to go, either try the case or resolve it by way of a plea negotiation or resolve it in a quicker manner. Now, here's what's happening. There's a generalized approach to crime and crime control, and we are receptive to changing our culture. Here's what I'm promoting in a nutshell. Let's create a specialized track with a specialized judge to sit there to hear these cases, and from date of arrest, we can complete every case within 1 year from date of arrest.
So look, I don't want to give everything away here because the judge and I are going to go upstairs and we're going to do the podcast and talk a little bit more about the genesis of this concept and be even more granular about how it impacts you here in the community. So that's going to be Judge Johnson with me on podcast 225 going upstairs, and you'll be able to download that at podcast225.com. And of course, you'll be able to hear the judge's thoughts